Welcome back, writers. How are you? It is so good to have you back. I hope you had a great weekend. I can't tell you how much I've been loving hearing from all of you and seeing what you've been doing with your journal, your Slice of Life journal. Some of you have been just sending me emails. It has been so much fun. And most of all, I just want you to know that no matter what, as long as you are writing, whether it be in our journal online or in one that you have at home, that is great. And I just want to congratulate you on making it through the first week, because I have to tell you, we teachers were busy this week. It has been so different figuring out how to teach you best online. So I just want to thank you for being so patient with us and for working on everything the best you can, and understand that sometimes things aren't going to work, but overall you've been doing a phenomenal job. Actually, 100% you have. You've been doing so great. So I just wanted to kind of give that little shout out to you and let your parents know that we're super appreciative of all the efforts they're making too, because this is hard for them, real hard. So before I get into today's writing lesson, I wanted to give you a couple of quick updates. One is if you are trying to use the Slice of Life journal, there's been a lot of confusion about that. And I know that I sent an email out to parents explaining what the hiccup was with it and how to move forward. But I just want you, cute little nuggets, to hear from me. Moving forward, whenever we do anything on a slide or on a Google Doc and I say, make a copy, what you do is you go to the little file button in the upper left of your screen, and when you click on that, there'll be a little drop-down list, and you'll see make a copy. You click on that, and then it'll probably bring up a little box where it gives you a box and it says copy of whatever that document was, and then you just hit OK. And then it brings you to a new page that has all the same stuff on it, but now you get to take it all off and erase it and make it your own, and take out my name and put your name in. Or if somebody else had made the document, you take their name out and put your name in. I wanted to walk through it with you and share that screen, but there's a more important screen that I want to share with you in a second, and I'm kind of afraid that if I try to do both, I'm going to mess it up, and I can't afford to make many more mistakes right now. So I'm just going to leave that one as it is, and if you have more questions, just email me. This one's even a little bit more important, this update. I wanted to ask you to please, when you are writing on a document where you might be responding to somebody else, remember, third graders, that this is just like in the classroom. Comments and things that you write need to be respectful, and they need to be encouraging and supportive. The only reason you would ever comment on anybody else's work would be to say, hey, nice job. Wow, you really used great sensory detail. Oh my goodness, I love your lead. Anything like that is great, and we want that and we welcome that. And I want to be able to continue to use these platforms where you can talk to each other like that in a safe way. But we cannot be saying inappropriate things to each other. We certainly can't be insulting anybody else or using the kind of talk we wouldn't use in school. And more importantly, I just want to make sure that we're all focused on what we came to do, which is to be working on writing and to learn. And yes, to have fun together and to make each other laugh and make each other feel good about their writing, but to do it in a way that's focused on the work or the strategy being taught. So I'm going to leave it at that. I think we all are old enough to understand what that means. If I need to pull you off of a project, I will. But I gotta be honest, I don't see that happening. I just felt like I had to kind of get like my serious teacher voice there for a second to let you know that this is still school. We're having fun, it's different, you're in your PJs, but it's still school. So that being said, let's move on to writing. Okay, hold on. I got it on. Whew. Okay, got my writer's hat on. It was a little wrinkled because I was up late last night working on all kinds of stuff, and it got a little wrinkled. But writers, today I want to talk to you about something super fun that you can do in your journals. Now, I want to start, and I'm going to share a screen here in a second. I want to start with something that happened a few days ago, more like a week ago. Franny has been begging me for a long time to bake a cake. Now, I knew that if I wanted Franny to learn how to bake a cake, we weren't just going to go out and buy the Duncan Hines box or the Betty Crocker box. We were going to do it the right way. So we waited until the Easter Bunny brought all the ingredients in her basket, and we decided that since she got all that stuff, it was time to bake a cake. So, third graders, I want to show you. Let's see here if I can make this show up. Hold on just a second. Uh-oh, I think I lost myself. There I am. The other day, Franny came to me and she said, Mom, I'm ready. I want to make the cake. And do you know what, third graders? There we are, we got the slide. Check it out. I hope you can see in the picture right now. That's Franny. You know that's Franny. And look at that cake. Can you believe it? It's a double layer chocolate cake with green and white piping and little stars. She's just like me. She loves stars. And she made it almost all by herself. I helped her a little bit, but we read directions. And you know what it got me thinking about, third graders? It got me thinking about when we write how-tos, when we write informational books, and when we tell people how to do something, right? So you'll see here I wrote, Franny and I baked a cake from scratch. Now, I wanted to show that to you because I wanted you to know that one really great thing you can do as a writer in your journal is to write a how-to. Let's go back a second and take a look at another thing I want to show you. Right here. Okay, you'll notice on the left, sweet babies, you'll see this chart that says things you can write in a journal. Now, we talked about this last week. We talked about details of your day, how to do something, new learning, letters, feelings, all of these different things. And many of you chose some of those and wrote about them, and it's been so great to see. I've seen some lists, I've seen letters, I've even gotten letters. I've seen writing where you talk about new learning you're doing in math. I've seen so many great things. But today, third graders, I want to talk about one of these skills, and I've got a chart over here, a little handy dandy chart that says writing a how-to. Now, you might imagine this same chart is going to be on the slide for today, so you will be able to go access it on your own and see it a little more clearly. But when you do, you're going to notice that it gives you some hints. And it says words like make, do. Those are things you do when you're doing a how-to. You're teaching somebody, your reader, how to do something. So it's a how-to. It's make or do, and then down here we have materials, steps, images, helpful tips, and all these different things, labels, keywords, bold words, diagrams. I would even go so far as to not call those bold words, but call them what? I can hear you. What are they called when we're labeling something in nonfiction? What are those called? Those are called expert words, right? So you'll notice here it says, think about all you know about nonfiction text features. Lovies, I'm going to leave this chart for a second and just kind of restate what that is all about so that you're not too confused. All I want you to know is that for today, what I'm trying to teach you is that writers, when they are journaling, they can pick from lots of different things to do, but sometimes it's really good to practice writing a how-to. And let me show you how I've done that, okay? So you've seen the chart. You can use the chart too if you want. But one thing that I've decided to do for my how-to is I printed up, it's a little big, but I printed up a picture of my sweet little Franny making a cake, or she made a cake. So here's my picture. I'm gonna put it in my journal because I've decided to make a real journal, not just one online. I've made one with paper. So I'm gonna show that with you, show that to you really quick. It's called My Slice of Life Journal. You see a little lemon slice down there? Little lemon slice for making lemons into lemonade. So I've been keeping this journal and I write in it. And there was a day, the other day, when I decided to record an entry about how to make a cake. Because Franny and I went through all these steps and I thought, I need to be able to remember that. And I want to teach somebody else. So you'll see, I kind of have it highlighted up here, how to bake a cake. And then it says Monday, April 13. And you probably recognize my Super Mrs. Richards teacher handwriting on there. And I wrote, today, I baked a cake from scratch with Franny. It was her idea. The Easter Bunny brought her all of the ingredients and decorations in her Easter basket. Plus, Franny has been begging me to bake a cake ever since we started watching the show Nailed It. And then I go on to the next page. I'm not going to read that to you right now, but I go on to the next page and I start writing the steps. and I start writing what you need, how you do it, when you have the ingredients, how do you mix them? And I go step by step by step, and I walk my reader through how to make a cake. And it's as simple as that. So writers, your job in your writer's notebook today, or your journal, or your slice of life journal, or on a piece of paper in the kitchen, just don't do it on your brother or sister's homework. I want you to write all about something that you can teach. It can be anything. You can teach about how to ride a bike, how to make a cake, how to go fishing, or how to catch the fish once you go fishing, how to build a birdhouse. I had one third grader tell me that he was building a birdhouse. Can you believe that? These are important things to write down. And the reason why this is so important right now, third graders, is because we are in a very unusual time. And when you get older, I, as your writing teacher, want you to be able to go back and see what it was like for you, your third grade self, when you were in this time that we're in right now. So many of you are doing so many really cool things that you don't realize it's something you can actually teach another person how to do, even if it's making a chalk design on the sidewalk. Imagine if somebody reading it and wanting to know how to do that thing you're doing. So you have my freedom to include photographs, charts, expert words, drawings, whatever you want to make that writing really come to life for your reader. But what I want to leave you with today is, as you go off to do your writing, I want you to consider at this point moving to a physical, I call it tangible, which means you can hold it, journal. You don't have to today, but as we move forward, I'm going to be encouraging you to do that more, because I want, you're not going to be surprised to hear this, I want those hands moving on the page. You want to see, I've been taking lots of notes while I've been working. I have been writing, and I want you doing the same. Even if it's just for a few minutes nuggets, it can be for 5 minutes. I just want you writing. If you want to stick with the Slice of Life journal online right now, that's absolutely fine, but I just want you writing. And no, you don't need to share it with me. You can, you don't have to. When it comes to your notebook or your physical journal, if you want to share that with me, you can do it, have a parent take a photo and just send it to me. Or moving forward, we're going to start having ways to do that together. I'm just really trying to work out what makes the most sense right now to not confuse and overwhelm everybody. So think about writing your own journal. Think about just sharing your voice. What do you want your future self to know you were doing? Things you were keeping yourself busy with during this time. So when you're older, your kids, your grandkids can go back and learn from you about what you were doing with your time. How special is that? I love you. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, when all else fails, just keep writing. Talk to you soon.